Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Shit's Hard. I'm your host, Amber. Welcome to season 2. Literally so much has changed since the last time we talked. I swear, we have a million things to go over. Obviously, as you can tell by the episode title, breakups are hard. That's going to be probably the main topic for today. For those of you who don't know, I was with my college boyfriend for 4.5 years and we did recently split. So that's kind of why I've been a little MIA with the podcast is shit really hit the fan. I mean, not hit the fan. It wasn't nothing bad, but really I got this new job and then left my relationship and then things were changing and I was moving and it was just a million things going on at one time. So yeah, we're just going to get into it and let me tell you the story. So we'll start off with why did we break up? Like I said, we met in college. We dated for 4.5 years. We had just moved to California together last August. And it was honestly good. It was really fine. I think the real reason we broke up is just we had grown apart. So yeah, there's not some juicy story there. We had been together since we were 18. And I think at least I was feeling I didn't know who I was without him. And it was just 18 is so young and 5 years is kind of a long time at that age. And so especially with us being out here in LA and we're both pursuing our careers. I don't know. I just feel we're both workhorses too. And so I felt maybe the relationship fell to the back burner to our careers and our jobs and things of that nature. So, and especially I said, being in LA and I feel I've kind of gotten closer to figuring out who I am and what I like and my own identity. And yeah, I just feel unfortunately for us that both meant separating. So it was a really healthy breakup. Honestly, it started for me back in March. We started to talk about our housing situation when our lease was up in August, and then our other roommates were moving somewhere else. It was just going to be us two living together. And I just, for whatever reason, I was oh, I don't think I'm ready for that. And then from there, it was kind of okay, I think I need to dive into this. And so I actually started going back to therapy at the time, kind of started talking it out. I think really I didn't want to admit to myself that leaving him was the thing I had to do. I didn't want to. I mean, like I said, we were best friends. We got along great. The relationship was really good. We communicated effectively. I have no bad blood there or anything like that. I had to do it for myself, which it sucks. It definitely does. But yeah, so that's pretty much the story of the breakup. And then after we decided we were going to break up, because we kind of decided we'll just stay together until we move out, just for simplicity's sake. Then we kind of had to figure out our housing situation too, which in Los Angeles, that's a nightmare. Housing here is just so stressful and everyone's trying to find housing. And I swear if you go to tour a unit, if you're not ready to apply that day, you're not fucking getting it. There's 3 other people there who are all touring just as well. And they're all submitting applications. And if your credit score isn't the most perfect and you're not the fastest applicant, it's just not going to be you. So that's really stressful. So honestly, I feel with the breakup happening, that the breakup itself kind of fell to the back burner and was oh shit, I need to figure out my housing situation first. Then I can be sad about this or whatever. So yeah, I ended up getting on Facebook. I met this girl who is living in a 2-bedroom, literally a couple streets over from where I was living. So it was so easy, so convenient. And yeah, we started talking and then I came over and met her and it seemed cool. And then I moved in and that's been really nice, at least. I know roommates can be so stressful, but yeah, that's actually been really good is living here. And her and I schedules are pretty different. So I don't really see her too much during the week, a little bit on the weekend. She actually just joined the gym that I work for. So that's kind of cool. So I get to see her there too. And yeah, so the gym, so the new job. Yeah, so I took a position as a personal trainer at this new gym last time we spoke. And I was pretty anxious about starting it and kind of felt imposter syndrome and all that kind of stuff. And I'm feeling a lot better about it now, to be honest with you. I'm certainly recognizing imposter syndrome is it's so something that everyone experiences, for one. But for two, it's just like, it's always wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like in all reality, if you take a look around, everyone around you is just figuring it out as they go. So it's like very scary to like start to like figure shit out as you go, but it's like nice to know that's what everyone else is doing. That's what you have to do. You're not the only one. You're not like an idiot and that kind of thing. So it's been going really well. I was really, really busy at first. I was working the front desk and then trying to get clients at the same time, which was good. It was helpful. But then eventually I had the clients in the morning and then I was working the front desk at night and I was like going into overtime every single paycheck for like 4 freaking weeks. So that was really stressful. That's another reason that kind of the podcast fell to the back burner, because it was just, I was always there, always. And then like on the side of that, still trying to like get in my own workouts and stuff. And it just like, it was a lot, to be honest with you. But yeah, so now I'm full-time PT, which is super nice. I have my clients, you know, filled in my books, but then I also get to make my own schedule, make my own time for the podcast, that kind of thing. So that's been really nice too. It's like kind of everything kind of just fell into place, which is really nice because I don't know, obviously back when like the breakup first came up and like happened, it was like, it felt like everything was falling apart and like felt like, holy fuck, like did I just fuck up my life? And like, why am I doing this? And it was one of those like, it was like, in a like literal, like logical way, it like makes sense to stay together just for like literal purposes. But it was like, that's not what I was feeling. And, you know, you need to be doing things. It's not like a reason to stay with someone just because it like financially makes sense or whatever. So yeah, that was kind of hard because I was like, okay, fuck, did I just fuck everything up? But yeah, it seems like time, like in the timely manner, like everything kind of just happened at once and I moved into the new place and now I'm PT and now this, and now I can get back to the podcast. And now I have even more time to do the things that I care about and create more content, try to get more on TikTok. Oh my God. Last week I had a TikTok blow up. It's at like 3.5 million views right now. And so let me tell you the story of the fucking TikTok. So basically what had happened is I had saw that my ex had posted that he was at this restaurant that we went to for our 4-year anniversary. And I was like, of course, hot and bothered about it, whatever. And I knew he wasn't there with any of our friends. So I just was like, whatever. So I went back in my photos and videos to like see if it was like the exact same place just to make sure. And I found this video of us on our 4-year anniversary at the restaurant. It was the same restaurant. And I don't know. I had made a joke about us breaking up in the video. And so I was like, oh my God, I have to make a TikTok about like how this didn't age well because like, I don't know. I just thought it was funny. And like, that's what I love about TikTok is like, it can be so unhinged. Like TikTok can just be like, literally what the fuck. So yeah, I made that TikTok. It literally popped the fuck off, which is really cool. It was fun. It was interesting, to say the least. It's like a very weird feeling to be like, oh, 3.5 million like people have seen this video. That's crazy. I actually, during one of my sessions the other day, I walked in and my client was like, hey, did you go viral on TikTok? And I was like, I guess so. But what's really cool about it is some of my other videos started to get better views after that, videos that I'd already posted. And so I've been getting a little more traffic to the podcast, which is really cool. And that's, you know, kind of what I wanted. But at the same time, something I've been struggling, this is the shit we're working on this week, is like perfectionism. Is like, because that video went viral, it's like I have this like anxiety inside of me of like, oh, I need to use it like while I'm up and I have all this traffic. Like I need to get like full force into the podcast, start posting shit, start making reels, whatever, like get to it, which is like partially true. But at the same time, I was feeling stressed about putting something out there that was like perfect for the podcast to like draw enough attention to it and draw the right crowd and the right people and the right audience for it. And I was like stressed about making the right content that I did nothing because I was like wanted to do it right. And so then it like paralyzed me into being like, okay, now I can't do anything. So that's not great. So that's something that I've been working on, is like trying to chill out, relax a little bit more, just go with the flow, make the content that I want to make, and know that like the right crowd is the right audience will come, you know, the right people that it resonates with will be there. So it's certainly a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's like, especially when a video goes viral, it's like that video had nothing to do with the podcast. So of course it was nice to get like the traction and whatever, it's my page. But what I really want to do is the podcast. What I want to do is like a little bit like more helpful content. type of stuff. So I don't know. It was interesting to say the least, but it was fun. It was like just crazy to like go through all the comments and see all these people interacting with you. That's one thing I do love about social media, and why like I'm interested in it is because just like the connection to like these random ass people. I love being able to communicate and connect with these people. I think it's so funny when like someone will comment something like mean on my video, obviously some random person, and then some other random person will comment back to them and be like, that's so rude. Like, it's just like, this is just such an interesting way to connect, I guess. We're all probably like on different sides of the globe here, but we're chatting in my comment section. So, but yeah, that's what I've been working on lately. And just as well, along with like the shit that I've been working on with the breakup, is kind of what I want out of it. And I've obviously been like reflecting on my relationship and, you know, things that I did like, things that I didn't like, things that maybe I think my partner could have done better, and maybe things that I think that I could do better next time around, which is like, it's a hard one to look in the mirror, especially when it genuinely was like a pretty healthy relationship altogether. But obviously there's things that I could have done better and can learn from. So that's what I've been actually working on, is like looking at like things that I could have done differently, or things that I, maybe was not doing that were like not so great. Because like I said, I'm not blaming this breakup on him. I'm not like, I don't think that he's responsible. Like, even if we did kind of grow apart and, you know, our schedules just weren't aligning and things just weren't, you know, the way that they used to be, like, I don't blame him at all. I think we're both equally responsible. It just kind of like is the way that it goes. So yeah, that's how that is. But what I'm working on and what I want out of this breakup is to like really be with myself and like be single and like do things by myself. I'm so fucking bad at that. Like I can like do things that I have to do by myself. You know, I can go get gas, I can go get groceries, fix my car, whatever, like things that need done, easy. Like I'm a type A, I can get shit done. But like what I can't do is like hang out with myself and like relax with myself. Or like if I wanted to go to the beach and all my friends were busy, I just wouldn't go to the beach. Like I just can't do shit by myself. So that's honestly what I want to get out of this breakup and work on while being single, is because, you know, 5 years together, you kind of always have that person. You always have like a +1 anywhere that you go, which is cool. And it's a lot of fun. I love partnership. I personally love relationships. Like, especially that I experienced one that was so good and we were like just good friends, you know, that I just loved having him around. That it's like hard to be on my own and like do fun things on myself. I think it's also like a financial thing, is like when I'm out to eat with my friends, it's like a social thing. You know, I'm not really there to eat dinner. I will eat dinner with them, but like you're there to spend time with them. And so for me, like the money that I spent on dinner is like worth it because I'm paying to hang out with my friends kind of. It's worth spending quality time with them. Whereas if I'm on my own and I'm like, oh, I kind of want some coffee. Like honestly, actually, this is like today. As of lately, I've been seeing how the pumpkin cold brew is like back at Starbucks. And I've been thinking these last 2 days that I want to go get it. But I'm like, I don't want to spend money on coffee. I have an espresso machine at home. I just bought grounds for it. I don't need to, you know, I might as well save the money and stay home. And whereas if one of my friends was like, hey, pumpkin cream's back at Starbucks, do you want to go get coffee? I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go. And like, I wouldn't even think twice about it because it's like, I'm spending that $5 to spend that time with them. And it's not to say that I don't think it's worth it to spend time with myself. I just can't get past that mental block of I can spend time with myself at home and for less money. So, that is definitely some shit that I'm fucking working on. And I'm so not good at. I set a goal to, what was it? I set a goal to go to the beach by the end of the month by myself. And that's another thing too, is like time is like, if I have, because like I said, I think I've talked about this before, is like, I can be like a bit of a workaholic and like, I can like guilt myself over not being productive enough, which I've gotten a lot better at since we last talked about it, to be honest with you. It used to be if I woke up at 10 a.m., immediately I'd be like overwhelmed with a sense of guilt of like, you should have been up at 8, you should have been up earlier so you could get more done. It's already 10 a.m. You've wasted so much time today, like blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I've been working on that and I'm much better about it now and I don't do that anymore. So that's nice. But still like, with like work and friends and hanging out, it's like if I have like a gap of time where I don't have anything to do, it's like immediately my brain goes to like, oh, well, if I don't have to go to work, if I'm not hanging out with anyone, if I don't have this, I don't have to write programs, whatever, then I should be working on the podcast. I should be editing an episode. And if I'm not editing the episode, I should be making a reel. And that's what sucks is like, if there's no episode to be edited or nothing to do, I can always guilt myself on the TikTok thing. Like I can always be like, you could be making a TikTok, you could be making content, you could be filming something, you could be editing something, whatever. And yeah, because it's like there's never a time where there's not something that I could be doing, which is so fucking annoying. So that's something I'm working on is like when I have nothing to do, like spending time with myself, not guilting myself over like not worrying so much about like, oh, I have a couple hours here, I need to be working on this. But it's hard when you have like social media stuff because you're your own boss. And if you have that drive and ambition, you're the worst boss you've ever had because you're the hardest on yourself and you never give yourself a break. And especially with like social media and stuff, it's always like there's like this clock ticking. I even felt it with this video that went viral. It's like as soon as it went viral, it's like I felt this clock ticking of like, this traffic that you just brought in, this viewership, this engagement is going to go away. So you need to like get on it while it's going and start to get posting about the podcast and draw more attention and use it and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I have no chill. I literally have no chill, which it's a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, I'm glad that I'm ambitious and I have drive and I like those things about myself. There's a balance to it for sure. And I'm working on finding that. But the first step is calling yourself out for this shit. So I guess if you're feeling this way too, or if you can be a bit of a workhorse, it's important to just like take a look in the mirror and be like honest with yourself and be like, you know, you don't have to be guilting yourself all the time. You know, you are a human at the end of the day. And I do think to a certain extent, it all comes full circle because if I do like try to do content and like burn myself out, the content that I pop out is probably going to be shit. Because of that, where if you were to like give yourself those breaks, relax a little bit, give yourself that grace, treat yourself right mentally, and then make the content when you're ready, it's probably going to be much better, more polished, etc. I'm honestly having that issue literally with this episode right now. This is the third time that I've filmed this episode, and I never fucking do that. Like, always on the last podcast, on the last full season of Shit's Hard, I recorded every single episode once, probably. Maybe one or two of them I did twice because I didn't like it or whatever, or the sound was off. But like this one, just like well, the first time I got in front of the camera, I'm like, I don't know why, it had been a minute. And I was like feeling a little anxious about being in front of the camera. And I was like, what the fuck? I've never felt this way before. But I took this long break and now I'm like, it's weird getting back into it. And then, I don't know, I was having some issues with like just technology type of stuff after I filmed the first take of the first episode. And then after that one video blew up. So then I'm like, okay, well, I actually want to talk about that. And I'm like, well, actually, I don't like how I titled it and this and that. And I want it to be called this. And it's definitely a little bit of like the perfectionist in me right now that's acting out and is like, this is the first episode of season 2 and it needs to be good. And it's also in the back of my mind that the first episode of the first season is the best. I don't know why. I don't know if everyone just listened to that one or whatever, but that's in the back of my mind here where I'm like, okay, shit, like this first episode has to be perfect too. It has to do as well as the first one, blah, blah, blah. Like, and also with the TikTok going up, then I'm like, okay, well then this first episode has to be good. If I get any TikTok traction, then I just like, I swear to God, I have a million fucking thoughts for every like one thought that the average person has. I think about everything in all fucking angles, which you would think is a good thing, but then eventually it comes back around to like bite me in the ass because I just keep thinking and keep thinking. And like, it like stalls me out to where then I'm not doing, I'm just thinking. So let me tell you, that is the shit that we're going to be working on this week is going to be hanging out with yourself, doing things that you want to do, even if everyone else is busy. I have a couple of single friends who are really good at this and they just like, they rant about it. They gloat. They're like, I love it. I love being single. They're like, I don't know. Some of them are a little bit like, I'm staying single, blah, 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 which I don't want to do that take either. I'm not like trying to stay anything. I'm literally just personally trying to focus on myself because I'm so fucking bad at being by myself. But I do think like if you swear off like relationships and you try to force yourself to be single, you could miss something really good in front of you. And you don't want to do that either. You don't want to close yourself off because someone hurt you. And then be like, I'm never doing that again, which I feel that a little bit. I do. Like I said, my relationship with Corbin was so fucking healthy and happy, and then it ended. Like, if that relationship didn't work, then what the fuck other relationship is going to work? Because that one was great. So it's like, I'm feeling a little bit like of that hopeless, like, I never want to do that again. I never want to put that much into someone and then have it go nowhere when it was so good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was hard with the healthy breakup because it was like, if you were being an asshole or if you had cheated, I'd have a reason to hate you. But I don't. I don't have any reason to hate him. I like him. I think he's a great guy. He's a good person. I know he's going to be successful. I'm rooting for him in his basketball career, but we just weren't on the same path, and that sucks. But yeah. So anyways, shit we're working on, hanging out with ourselves, giving ourselves that validation that we crave from others. And just going with the flow, like I've seen a lot of, now my whole TikTok fucking For You page has changed now that I'm single. It's insane what that app knows about you. Because now I'm getting a lot of like how to be single and like how to spend time with yourself, like dating's supposed to be fun, whatever. So like I'm trying to have just like a very neutral approach to like, dating is supposed to be fun and going on dates is supposed to be fun and nothing has to be serious. And I'm personally not really looking for anything serious because I want to spend time with myself, but I can still do those things and like enjoy them too. And like, there's nothing wrong with that either. Like I definitely have a habit of taking things very seriously and being like very 0 or 100. I was like that with Corbin. I was like, I'm looking for something serious. I'm looking for the person I'm going to marry. If you're not that, fuck off. I'm not trying to waste my time. Like, whatever. I'm trying to like teach myself to like go with the flow, take it day by day. I swear to God, like how I would describe myself a couple years ago, my anxiety would be like, I was living in the future always. I've always been living in the future for the past couple years. I've never lived in the present. I just have not been able to do that. Like all I can do is think about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. I had a friend recently say something interesting to me. They were like, I feel like you get over things really quickly. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, you'll come to me upset as fuck about something, like genuinely upset. And then like, even just like within the week, within a couple of days, you're like totally moved past it. And they're like, I don't know how you do that. So I'm usually stumped for like a month or whatever. And I agree with them. I really thought about it and I was like, that's an interesting thing. I've never noticed that about myself, but I agree. I do think that about myself. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but I think it's because I don't live in the past. So I don't hang out there. I don't have any regrets. I don't dwell on the things that already happened, but I am anxious as fuck about what's going to happen. So, I had also with a different friend, I had an interesting conversation because she was telling me that she feels the opposite about herself. And she was like, I get really anxious and overthink the past because I can't change it. And so it really stresses me out. And I'll go over and over in my head the things that I did and how I behaved and whatever. And she was like, I'm never thinking about the future because I can fix that. I can like change that. I have control over it. And I was like, that's so interesting because I feel the opposite. Like, I don't know. I guess I do have control over the future, but it feels very like, since I have control, now I'm anxious about doing it right. Like I'm always stressed about doing things right. So it's just funny how people think and people work and how anxiety like can be so different from person to person. But either way, that's what I have for you today. Breakups are really fucking hard, but we're getting through it. If this is something that you're relating to right now, I'm right there with you. And let's get through this shit together. This shit's fucking hard. We're gonna get through it with like some grace and just, just be present, be with our fucking feelings and just feel the sad. And then, you got to feel the good too. And think about the things that suck because of it. Sure. But also think about the things that are kind of better now because of it as well. I mean, even just from like a time perspective, like I said, I have no bad blood, but now that I'm not in a relationship, I have a lot of time to dedicate to the podcast. My whole schedule is dedicated to me. Which is really nice. Like this is the thing that I care most about, to be honest with you. And it's my passion. And so it's really nice to be able to like, now my life can be about this. So I'm excited for that. That's not to say that a lot of shit doesn't suck, because it sucks not having like just like someone on your team, and like, I think you guys probably know if you listen to season 1, I'm from Ohio. We just moved to California. So I don't have any family out here. And now that I moved away from the 2 friends that I came to California with and my ex is now gone, I just kind of feels like a little bit like, oh shit, I'm really on my own. So that is hard too. It's hard to be like, oh fuck, like I came here with these people and I felt so safe and grounded, and now I don't have that anymore either. But this is the season of growth. This is the season of growth. So if you're in this with me, I'm excited. I'm trying to be optimistic about it. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying. I am. I made the right choice, to be completely honest with you, to get out of that and to move on and to like force myself in this uncomfortable situation. Unfortunately, it's true. If you are comfortable, you're not growing. So, which sucks. That sucks dick. Wish that wasn't the case. But it is. So here we are, uncomfortable as fuck and trying to embrace it. So that's what I've got for you. A few questions. If you guys have any thoughts, you want to share them with me. I was going to ask you guys, do you struggle with hanging out with yourself? Do you struggle with doing these things? Or are you the opposite? Are you like, no, I can hang out with myself all day. I just don't want to get out of the house. Like, you have to drag me to the social function. Cause I'm the opposite. So yeah, let me know. Let me know if you're having a hard time, like spending time with you and spending money on you. Cause I fucking relate. And do you feel like you crave and kind of like rely on validation from others? I'm feeling that right now. I'm feeling that like I didn't notice how much I was this way until I left the relationship, was how much I crave that external validation and how much that's a problem. And I want to work on that for me. And I want to make the shift and be able to give that to myself, you know? So that's the shit that we're working on this week. That's what I'm thinking about. But yeah, that's what I've got for you. If you're in the season of growth, we're in it together, because this shit is fucking hard. But I'll see you on the next one. Oh, actually, and I'm going to be dropping episodes every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Oh, fuck. Backwards. Going to be dropping episodes every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you're interested, or if you want to see the fucking TikTok, you can go follow me at Amber Meisner. AMBER, MEISNER. Might be 2 R's. I don't know. If you want to see me more unhinged content, you can go to my TikTok. If you want to see less unhinged content, you can go to my Instagram. That's also at Amber Meisner. And it's a little more cleaned up. So connect with me there. I want to connect with you guys, and I will see you on the next one, because this shit is hard.